Today I'm going to tell you guys about the only time that I gambled on professional boxing. I stayed in Vegas for several months throughout my boxing career. I don't think one time I participated in any gambling, so gambling is definitely not something that I like to get into. But for this particular moment, I thought it was an excellent opportunity and something I didn't want to pass up on. Coach Brandon here, owner of Flows Boxing and Fitness here in Sacramento, California. I'm a former USA national team member, formerly ranked #1 in the country as an amateur, formerly ranked #1 as a professional boxer. Back in 2009, Showtime put together this tournament that was going to be for all the best super middleweights in the world to compete against each other. 3 of the top fighters from America, 3 of the top fighters in Europe, all participated in it. What we like to see in boxing is the best fighting the best, and this indeed did that. In the first match, we saw Andre Ward, my friend, longtime training partner, Olympic gold medalist. He was considered right on the cusp of that championship level, going against the experienced veteran, world champion, Mikkel Kessler. Mikkel Kessler, when the tournament was announced, was favored to win the entire tournament. I'd been boxing with Andre ever since he came out the Olympics. I knew what he was capable of. My original thought of the fight that it was going to be a competitive fight, but Andre would win. I'd been boxing with Andre for previous fights. I trained with him during the Edison Miranda fight. I got the call from Virgil to come and join him leading up for this fight as well. The thing was, Mikkel Kessler was doing his entire training camp in America as well for this fight because the fight was going to be in Oakland, California. Mikkel Kessler actually came to Roseville, California, which is only about a half hour east here where I'm at in Sacramento. He was at a gym that I had trained at frequently in my amateur and early boxing career. So when he was training there, the owner of the gym had called me to also come and box with Mikkel Kessler. I had about 6 professional fights. I was still early in my pro career. And at that time, being a paid sparring partner for world champions or fighters that are further along in their career is a great way to make money. I was doing that. I was working, I was training clients, I was doing whatever I can to make ends meet. At the beginning of your career, you're not making a lot of money. So, you have to have different ways of making income. I went out to box with Mikkel Kessler the first day. After that, they'd asked me to join the camp, probably because it was a good look for them. I was athletic, I was a boxer, depended on my jab, so similar styles, of course. I was a good fighter to have in camp with them for preparation for this fight. Now, the conflict was that I was also scheduled to start training with Andre that same week. Both of these cases are paid opportunities for me. It's not money that I can really turn down at this point. I talked to Virgil. I let him know. I said, hey, look, Mikkel Kessler's team called me. They want to have me in camp for this fight. I told him that I would talk to you. I just want to let you know I'm not going to reveal any preparation to your camp, and likewise, I'm not going to reveal any of their preparation to your camp. I told Mikkel Kessler's team that as well, that I was training with Andre for this fight like I have in the past. Both of them agreed to keep me in camp. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I was boxing with Mikkel Kessler. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, I was boxing with Andre Ward. After sparring both camps for about a week, there was no doubt in my mind who was gonna win this fight. The odds opened up as Mikkel Kessler as the 6-1 favorite. The theme of this whole match was Andre was highly overlooked. He was overlooked by the people that organized the tournament. I think he was definitely overlooked by Mikkel Kessler's camp. Him being the champion, agreeing to have the fight in Oakland, California, that was Andre's hometown. I think they were quite confident that under any circumstances that Mikkel Kessler was going to win this fight. Now, I'm pretty much quiet going to both camps. I'm friendly with both of them. There wasn't a time that I revealed any of, how preparation was going for each of the fighters, nor did any of the camps ask me about preparation of the other fighters. So that was business as usual. And as word got out that I was training, I was sparring with both fighters. People that are gambling on the fighter just want to know my opinion, calling me and texting me, and I'm literally just silent. That would have been inappropriate, being that that I had a business relationship with both camps. With me personally betting on the fight, my wife did. My wife placed a nice wager on Andre to win. The fight was really one-sided. Training with both fighters, I knew that Mikkel Kessler was going to have trouble with fighting Andre on the inside. Andre knew how to fight inside, he knew how to fight outside. With the style, the way the Europeans fight, they fight straight up. They like distance, they like range. They're very good from the outside range, but when you get into close range, they more or less wait for the referee to come and break the action up. And I noticed that because on the inside, Mikkel Kessler didn't fight a lot. He wouldn't hold, but he wouldn't fight either. And for me, that was a big part of how the fight was going to play out. Some parts of the rounds, he was boxing on the outside with Mikkel Kessler, staying at range, in and out. And then on other times, he was inside, smothering him, hitting him with body shots to the arm, to the chest, to the head. He was really physical on the inside, and I think it overwhelmed Mikkel Kessler. By the time that he was able to get adjusted, he had 2 cuts that opened up during the fight, whether it was from headbutts or a punch. He was getting outpointed. He didn't know how to respond or make the adjustments, and by that time, it was too late. We were already in the 11th round. They end up stopping the fight on cuts, and Andre is given a TKO victory in a huge upset in the opening round of the series. The only time that I ever gambled on boxing, I won big, and I went out like Floyd Mayweather. I retired undefeated. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. I do boxing tutorials, fight breakdowns, predictions, and stories like this. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I'm Coach Brandon, and remember that I'm always in your corner.